Okay, Mr. Perez, you had a question about your mass. It's off in the very beginning, but it's an easy thing to fix. Again, you're not really quite following the directions, but you don't really care as long as you get to the end, you get the right thing. But if you don't get the right mass properties at the very end, if you get this stuff out of order, don't do it the way I'm asking you to, then I can't help you. I can't pinpoint it. That's why we do it this way. So the base feature should really be not the way it is. The way you have your sketch set up, you actually have it on the top plane over here. It should be on the front plane, and the origin should be in the middle. So if you do it on the front plane, we did a mid-plane extrusion, and we incorporated both the base plate and the base feature in the same thing. And that's the way you do it. So you need to take your sketch and put that origin in the middle here in order for it to work out right. And I think if you do that, that'll be okay. So two features instead of one. It's better to have one feature rather than two. So try to keep that in mind. Your dowel cuts, I think that was okay, but let's go ahead and take a look at this to see what you did. Let's go normal to the screen. What's really better here is 85 from that line to that line. So, delete that and just do a dimension, an angular dimension from one side to the other. And you're not remembering your symmetry here. So this 0.45, not as good as 0.90 from side to side. So if we delete that dimension and you go from this point to that line, or maybe from that point to that point, puts in 0.9, but that's the way you do it. This side is a diameter or a double dimension. That side is going to be a radius or a single dimension. Put it on the other side. And the same thing with this dimension down here, 0.08. I asked for 0.16, so make sure you do that. And these should be diameters, but I think radiuses are probably okay. And I think that works out okay. I think that's okay the way it was, except for those three changes you might want to do. Side cut, let's take a look at this. The desire here with the side cut is to make sure that this line over here, that edge, and this line over here defining this cut over here is going to be 0.08. Just like this thing is here between that point and its closest proximity to this arc, 0.08. But you have something different here. You have 0.08 between this point and that point. That's not the same as a dimension from that line to that line. And just to prove it, 0.054, it's a lot thinner than it should be. So, so get that thing fixed. And let's see, base plate extension, that's probably okay. Supposed to be in a rectangle there, so I think you have a rectangle here. The thin extrude, not really a thin extrude. What I'm asking for is a single line down here without dimensions. You have 4 lines in there, 4 times more work. With the dimension now 5 times more work. So it needs to be a thin feature down there. So delete that feature, take that sketch, clean it up, make a single line out of it, and I think you're okay. And your hole wizard holes, actually, I like these. I like the way you did this. A common mistake was to try to grab that point over here with that center line. Grab that point over here. It's not really, won't make it horizontal, so that's good. But it's better with these center lines with that defined endpoint down here that's blue. It's just to drag it off your model. That way you won't confuse it with anything else in there. And so all your points are symmetrical. So as I asked, you have 2 dimensions defined into 1 point and then symmetrical relationships for the other ones, and that works out okay. So get those changes made, and I think your model will be okay.